guys, and welcome to episode 30 of the Collectiverse Show. And today we're going to be talking about all the new stuff coming up from the E3 gaming convention. Hey guys, it's Johnny here, and today's episode of the Collectiverse Show we're talking about E3. Most specifically, we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And here with me, we also have Assassin's Creed Odyssey number 1. And that would be Rick.
Hey, what's going on? I only care about the Spider-Man game, so no, I'm just kidding. There's more I care about than that.
And we're going to introduce Assassin's Creed Odyssey number 2. That's Richard.
I only care about not anything but Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So.
Anyways, we're going to start, funny enough, by talking about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. No, I'm joking. Right, okay, so E3 is what? Kicks off, well, the first press conferences for E3 kick off sort of next weekend, so 4th, 5th of June is when they're starting. No, I'm completely wrong there. I got my dates totally wrong. 8th and 9th. I think EA is kicking off the first press conference on Friday on the 8th. Then we're getting Microsoft on the Saturday. And I know we're getting Sony and Ubisoft on the Sunday before the actual main E3 show kicking off on the Monday for that week. We know there's a whole ton of stuff coming out for E3. As you may have guessed, I'm most excited for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I want to know more about that. That's from Ubisoft. But we have plenty more coming up and a lot of rumors and speculations about what we have coming. From Sony, we've got Spider-Man. They're going to be finally showing off some more Death Stranding. Maybe we can actually get something that might give us an idea of what's actually going on in that game. They're going to be showing off The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Dreams. We also have Square Enix are going to be having their own press conference, their very first press conference this year. More than likely, we're going to be getting a lot of Kingdom Hearts. Probably going to get some more Final Fantasy VII, hopefully. People, fingers crossed for that one. And we've got many, many others coming along down the line. I'm going to pass it over to Rick and see what he's got to say and what he's looking forward to the most.
Okay, so number 1 on my list is the new Spider-Man game. I've read some about this game. It looks pretty awesome. Sony's doing that one, I believe. So I'll probably be picking that up for the play. I only play PlayStation 4, so pretty much all I play most of the time. Some PC games. This looks pretty awesome. I mean, you can't really go wrong with Spider-Man, right? And I think they'll probably do it justice. I mean, it looks like the guy's got a new suit. That's pretty awesome. New suit design. I read a little bit about that and kind of like that idea. Something a little bit of a mix of some of the different styles. So that's pretty exciting. A game that I've been waiting for a really long time, and I think it's been in development it's like 84 years or something like that. I don't know. Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
Yes.
I mean, that game has been in development forever. I feel like I was 10 years old when that game was started development. It really does feel like a while. I don't even know what the original plan was when they started first designing this game, but I doubt they knew exactly what console it was going to be on because it's just been a crazy project. But from all the footage and stuff I've seen, it looks pretty fantastic. I like the Kingdom Hearts games. Do like Disney, likes Final Fantasy, so I can't go wrong with that. And probably my third favorite, even though I don't have a Switch yet, which is kind of unfortunate, though I hope I can get one at some point, as I want to play the new Smash Bros. Game. Being a Nintendo fan, I want to see all the Nintendo characters back again. I hope we get some new characters and stuff like that. I know that a lot of these are returning characters probably that we've seen in all the other. I've played all the other Smash Bros. Games. Absolutely love them. I have heard rumors. Now, you may have heard rumors of this too. I don't know if this is correct. It could just be absolutely just lies, and if it is, I'm not going to be happy. But I've heard there's supposed to be a Superman game in the works, and I don't know if it's true, and I don't know it. Basically, I understand it's like the ones that make Arkham. I'm blanking now on the name.
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, yeah. It's like their next project is Superman. So I hope that's true, actually. If that is, that would be absolutely fantastic. Just a Superman kind of, even if it's like an open world type game, that would be awesome to see, kind of in the Arkham Knight style, I guess, and something similar to that. I think that would sell really well, and I hope that that's actually true. But it's been rumored for a while. I think it's been rumored for a couple of years or something. And I've heard some people say it might be one of the ones that gets shown at this kind of a surprise type thing. But those are kind of
they've apparently got an actual gameplay demo there, and considering the last game they made was Arkham Knight, for them to have a playable demo actually there at E3, I mean, it's not going to be Arkham Knight. So they're announcing something.
Yeah. They're announcing something. And I think that's been the general idea, is that if there is a gameplay of some kind, it has to be. I mean, you would think they would do something along the same lines as what they did. They would continue. They did so well with the Arkham games. I don't see why you wouldn't continue doing some other comic characters. And I think Superman's a natural progression from Batman. I mean, who else? If you're gonna, even if you're just staying with DC, I mean, who would you go to next besides Superman? I mean, I think Batman's been played out on the Arkham series.
Definitely.
I think
Yeah.
we pretty much need to let it go. So obviously Prime 1 did. Yeah. Too soon? Too soon?
Maybe
Sorry.
too soon, yeah.
Sorry, Chris. I love you, man. Batman statue collector. I love you, man. I really do. I feel for you. But yeah, apparently Arkham is dead all the way around. So that's done. I don't know. Other than that, I mean, that's my main ones. Obviously, Assassin's Creed's cool. I'm glad that there's an Assassin's Creed. I mean, they should just keep making those because people love those games. One more I wanted to mention, and I'll be done with my part, is I want to see the new Mega Man 11. See more of it. Because, I mean, Mega Man's awesome. I love all the old school kind of, side-scrolling Mega Man games. And, I mean, what's not to love, right? I mean, another iteration. I'm sure Alex and First Four Figures are enjoying whenever new Mega Man games come out, because they've tried they've tried so hard to keep Mega Man going. I feel pretty bad for them, actually, because it feels like it doesn't get the hype that some of the other series is doing. I think there's a lot of Mega Man fans in the
It's one of the things I found so strange is like Mega Man and Sonic seem to like fall by the wayside for like later generations, yet Mario is still like on point.
Crazy. Yeah, Mario's always, and it feels like they get overlooked, and I feel bad for the Sonic and Mega Man fans, because those are great series, and they've had some hits and misses, obviously, throughout the years for both of them. But I think, for the most part, the nostalgia of those games is so big that I think Mega Man 11, of course, people are going to love it. They're going to pick it up. It's going to be good. I'm not really worried about it.
It looks like it's sticking to its classic style. It's a side-scrolling Mega Man game.
Yeah, and I think nostalgia is big, with the side-scrolling stuff right now. And like, if you look at a lot of the games, even like indie games, it's the pixelated like 8-bit games, like side-scrolling games are huge right now. Just like that nostalgia of like, oh, I can't tell what my character looks like. I don't know what his, like, I can't see his face, but it's like something about it is just, it's charming and people love it. And I think sometimes people wish, I think I am actually an 8-bit on this camera right now.
8-bit beard.
That's what it kind of looks like. It looks like I'm an 8-bit. Maybe an 8-bit side-scrolling Rogue Rick game is in the works. I'm just saying, possibly.
Speaking of Sonic, we recently had the Team Sonic Racing trailer get dropped, like a teaser. Do you think we'll see anything of that at E3? Anybody?
Oh, absolutely. It would be stupid of them to drop that tiny little teaser and show nothing. But the biggest problem I have with this, you've got a hedgehog that can run faster than a car. Why the hell is he in a car?
It's a good point. He shouldn't be.
Like, I get, Tails would be in a car, Eggman be in a car. Sonic should just be running.
That's not really racing, though, is it, I suppose, yeah.
But yeah, but I suppose they've got to put him in a car, because otherwise it's an unfair advantage to let him run.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do
Final
have
Fantasy VII. Does anybody talk?
Sorry, go on, Rick.
I was just going to say, anybody hyped about Final Fantasy VII remake?
The remake.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they show something. I mean, it was at least 2-3 years ago now. They showed this footage of like their in progress stuff, and like it kind of went dead. So I'm hoping that they're hosting their own press conference. This is like the first time Square Enix have hosting their first own press conference at E3. So let's hope they got something worthwhile to show off, for they're doing their own show.
I would hope so.
You would have thought so, yeah. So cool. That's I'm actually what Rick's excited for. I'm excited for too. So we've covered those games. I think a game that I'm excited to see, which is a game that's probably going to be the game of next year if it comes out next year, which is The Last of Us 2. Which I think The Last of Us is one of the games that emotionally impacted me the most when I played it, and I think that The Last of Us 2, we're now playing as Ellie rather than Joel, I've been told, and she's a bit older, and it's interesting to see whether Joel's actually still alive. From the trailer we saw, the original one where he walks into the house and she's playing the guitar, but the one we're looking at now is the footage they showed at PlayStation Experience towards the end of last year, which is, it seems like this is a cinematic, but I think that the graphics are really going to be improved this time. I know that The Last of Us, the original one, was on the PS3 originally, wasn't it, Johnny?
Yeah, Last of Us was PS3, and I think you could get it on the PS4 as well.
Remastered version, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Rick, do you play The Last of Us? Something you played on PS3?
No, I didn't play The Last of Us, but I always had the intention of getting it and playing it, but I just never quite got around to it. I heard so many good things about it, though. I'm pretty sure it's going to be amazing, this second one. I can't imagine they could drop the ball on that one. There was one other one on here. I want to mention, this is honorable. I want to do honorable mention that I'm not the biggest fan of, but Bong is probably going to enjoy. I know Bong is a big like Metroid and like Samus fan, you know.
Oh yeah.
What about the rumors of Metroid Prime 4? That would be pretty cool to see. I think Bong would probably enjoy that, being such a big Metroid fan that he is. I'm sure people would freak out for that. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm curious Metroid fans out there if they get that on the Switch. So
yeah, I mean, cool. it would make sense for them to make a decent Metroid for the Switch now. You know, they're doing so much that we've had like one of the best Legend of Zelda games for a while that's come out on the Switch. We've had one of the best Mario games that's come out for a while on the Switch. It would make sense for them to reignite Metroid again and put Metroid on the Switch. And you know, one of the other things that they're saying that they've got one in progress now. They've not come out and said about it. They've said that it's in development, but they've given us next to no information, and that is a proper RPG Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Like, so they showed off this Pokemon Quest thing, which was like on the eShop, and it's kind of cutesy. Everything's like square, polygon looking weird thing. You know, some people like it. It's like a free-to-play kind of thing. Then they announced the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which is basically like Pokemon Go, but you don't actually have to go outside and interact with other human beings, which is perfect for me. And then they said that they are making a 2019 release Pokemon RPG for the Switch. They've been intentionally very like aloof with the information for it, but I know like this is going to be like the Pokemon game for like a long time.
Pokemon always sells well, and there's a loyal following, and I love the games myself. I've played them since I was a kid, but I think you can never go wrong with Pokemon. It's like, when have they made like a normal like RPG one that people haven't loved? Like, you know, that's like catching and that kind of style RPG. So anything they've made some offshoots that have been interesting, but I mean, they've done a lot of different crazy random Pokemon games over the years, but I think the core games have been hugely successful, and it's for obvious reasons. They're just good games.
Does anyone think that we're going to see Kojima at this press conference? There's rumours he's going to actually show gameplay and actually be the person playing the gameplay of Death Stranding.
Oh, absolutely. The Death Stranding is his love child. It's the first game from his own studio. He's going to make sure that he's going to literally hold its hand across that finish line.
Can I bring up like a controversial comparison between Kojima and somebody else?
Yeah.
I believe that Mr. J / John Pham, or whoever the heck he is Hideo Kojima. It's the same personality. It's the same exact person, because it's like they have the same mentality, which is they're artistic individuals. They have an artistic standpoint, but their standpoint is so out there and so like unique and original, and they go outside the box, and they go on a limb to the point where they become either the most loved or the most hated person. It's like they have no way to, there's controversy surrounding them at all times. It's like with like Metal Gear Solid, some people will say the storyline was absolutely god awful and made no sense, and there'll be other people who's like the greatest thing I've ever seen. And if you insult any of their work, like at all, if you even like breathe that something's wrong, they get pissed and start pouting. So I'm wondering if, like, I don't know, I'm just saying, like, Hideo Kojima, John Pham, Wonder Woman on horse, Metal Gear Solid. There's a tie there. I'm telling you.
Kojima on horse.
They might be Kojima on horse. They might be buddies. I don't know. Who knows?
I'll tell you what.
They are buddies, because they Prime One made the
they did
the mascot that Ludens.
That's true. They did.
Which is supposed to be in this game.
I fall on the side of like Kojima and like his games, gameplay wise. A lot of the stuff in Metal Gear is fantastic, but if you just go back and you just pay attention to the story, and it's absolutely absurd. I had a brother who was the biggest Metal Gear Solid fan I knew, and he was obsessed with Metal Gear Solid. He played it religiously, and he got to a point in one of the games where he'd been bragging for years, like Kojima, his storylines, everything he writes is just absolutely fantastic. Just bragging, bragging, bragging. And he gets to a certain point on one of the games, and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta admit something to you, man." I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Not any of this made any sense." And I've played every game, and I was like, "Okay, cool." So I've been saying this for years. None of his stuff makes any sense.
Yeah, Stranding doesn't. It doesn't. I don't know what the fuck it is.
It doesn't. It's just absurd, all of it, and but some reason people and the gameplay makes up for it. I think a lot because like they have these iconic bosses and stuff like that. And if you play the Metal Gear series, it's actually got all these great moments where you're like, wow, Sniper Wolf, and they just blow you away. And that's what I remember from playing the games. But if I go into the story of it, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, seriously, who are these people? And why is it like 1 minute I'm Snake and I'm Snake's dad, and then I'm a VR Snake, and then I'm like a copperhead Snake, and then it gets absurd, and I don't know what I am at a certain point, and it drives me nuts. So yeah. And then it's kind of like John Pham. It's like, what statue is he going to come up with next? And it's like he goes from like some random ass game nobody's played to ginormous Batman or Wonder Woman on horse. And it's like there's no consistency. So I think there's something to that. And I'm not insulting John Pham or Mr. J. I like their stuff. It's just there's something to that artistic, quirky, eccentric individual that I think we're dealing with both of those guys.
Yeah,
personally,
I just wanted
to make the comparison.
There's a game there's two actually that have been in development for so long. This is one that Johnny might know about. This is rumored to be there, which is Cyberpunk 2077.
That better be there.
It's 5 years in development. 5
years.
Years.
Like the thing is though, is like games are always in development for like donkey's years. It's just for some reason CD Projekt Red showed this off like really early. Like this got showed off just after like The Witcher. I'm sure it did.
Mm.
Like they released The Witcher and then they showed this.
Like I said, with Kingdom Hearts, how long have they been talking about Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't with a video game. I don't mind them taking their time.
They should, yeah. I agree.
Like, The Witcher 3 got like 2 DLC expansions on it that apparently like basically double the game in size, and it was already an absolutely monumentally big game. Like I just bought it, and everybody that I've said, "Oh, I've just bought The Witcher 3," they're like, "Be prepared to lose like 500 hours of your life into it." Yeah. I'm like, "Well, that's good because I don't have a life, so I've got time to spare." But when this kind of like futuristic stuff, so the whole like the cyberpunk stuff, I quite like it. So if it comes out like The Witcher and it's received the same way that The Witcher has been received as like one of the best RPGs of like since sliced bread, then I'm all for it. I cannot wait to see what they do with it. But they're being so like secretive with information on it. They're saying that they could even stick a battle royale into it if they wanted to, because they're not giving anybody any leg room to say, oh, the game is definitely going to be this, it's definitely going to be that. They've said it's a single player, they've said it's a multiplayer. Nobody has any idea what to actually expect from this game. So I'm kind of hoping now, The Witcher's been out for a while, they've kind of done everything they need to do to support that game. It's about time Cyberpunk 2077 is showing off now. So I'm really hoping that we get something, hopefully some gameplay of it, so that we can like see what this game is actually about.
Is there any chance that it actually just comes out in 2077, and that's the reason why they call it Cyberpunk 2077? Like that's when we're actually going to get it in hand?
It's possible.
Another game that basically has been in for a while,
the
which
first
is definitely going to be
Battlefront,
shown, which is
where literally like they released the game and it was like half a game and everything else was DLC. Then
it's created
it's
by
not
the
going to
people
work.
who made Mass
EA
Effect.
are going to struggle
up
to
until
stay alive.
Mass Effect Andromeda was released.
Everybody was like, "Oh my god, this game's going to be amazing." Then, thanks to EA, they screwed around BioWare, and Mass Effect Andromeda bombed. It did terrible. People didn't like it. Even ended up shutting down that division of BioWare, which is not really good if you're planning on producing more stuff. But apparently what's happened is that everybody that was working at BioWare has consolidated onto Anthem. Now, apparently, basically everybody's scared because they're worried that EA is going to go, this is our next big thing. Shit, let's just cram in microtransactions. Let's make everybody spend money, otherwise they won't be able to play the game. And that's everybody's biggest fear, especially after, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Everybody's expecting Anthem to be flooded with DLCs. And it's got a lot of people very skeptical. Now, apparently, I was talking to some guy on Twitter the other day. Apparently, there is an absolute bucket ton of information being dropped for Anthem at E3. Now, I don't know what that entails. We know that obviously it's a big open world, sort of futuristic, hoping RPG style, multiplayer. You can have multiple people in on your games, and you can go explore this world. Now, that sounds good. But if they lock like the big mechs behind DLCs, if they lock weapons and half of the game like they did with the first Battlefront, where literally like they released the game and it was like half a game and everything else was DLC, then it's not going to work, and EA are going to struggle to stay alive if they're going to carry on putting games out like this. So I'm really, really hoping they've said, we've heard you. We know what we've done wrong. We know what to do to make it right. But they're still saying, this whole games as a service, which is like, it's like basically saying Lord Voldemort in Harry Potter to video game fans. Games as a service is a bad word. If any developer says, no, this is games as a service, we're producing this game to be a games as a service, most people are like, oh, it's going to be flooded with DLCs. It's going to be flooded with microtransactions. But it has viability. It certainly looks interesting. It could very well fill the gap of where Destiny 2 failed. So I am hopeful that Anthem does well. I really like the look of Anthem. I really want to see, and I really want EA to allow BioWare to make this game the way it should be made.
Yeah, for sure.
Last two games we'll get into on this episode, which is Johnny's probably going to be loving these ones. Fallout 76, we had a trailer come out this week. Do you think we're going to see anything else of that? Or
yeah, we're going to show loads more of Fallout. No, I don't have a lot to say on Fallout because I've not played a lot of Fallout.
I'll say this about it. I've heard that Soldier 76 from Overwatch is the main character. They just
does he run the vault? Does he?
Fallout 70. Yeah, it's exactly what happens. He's got to get out of the vault, and he runs across the wasteland. It's actually pretty cool because he's wearing like the bright red, white, and blue, so it's pretty sick. Pretty excited about it.
See, I've heard they're all just wearing flares. Like, so.
No, it looks good from the bits and pieces I've heard about it. Vault 76 is supposed to be a control vault, so they didn't do any experiments on like weird stuff on the people that were in the vault. So these are supposed to be like normal people, and I'm assuming you've been out in the wasteland for X amount of time, but nobody really knows anything about it. People are speculating that it could be an MMO multiplayer type game. A lot of people don't want that, but we've just got to wait and see what we get.
I mean, it could be a Soldier 76 origin story, which would be pretty cool. Just kind of Blizzard tie-in.
Bethesda and Blizzard working together just on
Blizzard,
Soldier 76.
On Soldier 76. That's it.
And then the final game will let Johnny go running, which is Assassin's Creed Mario Odyssey.
Oh my god! Oh, so Assassin's Creed Origins is like one of the best games in the series, in my opinion. It absolutely rekindled my love for the franchise, and Assassin's Creed was the franchise that got me back into gaming from the start. So for them to make Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which looks like it's going to be a direct sequel from Assassin's Creed Origins, whether or not we're going to have Bayek in it as well still, whether or not it's going to carry on from that is yet to be seen. But it certainly looks like, it's set in Roman Greece, that at the end of Assassin's Creed Origins, you're basically, the Romans are taking over Egypt and stuff like that. And I think even in the DLCs, you go into like Rome and stuff like that. So we've we're moving like it's a very direct storyline. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey, by the looks of it, is going to be just a straight up sequel to Assassin's Creed Origins, and that for me is just got me so hyped. I cannot wait to see more for this. They've made it much more RPG style. So you've got hitbox, you've got your different weapons that do different kind of damage. You can build your character how you want. Now you still have the traditional free running, ability skill tree and everything like that. The same way you've always had in Assassin's Creed. But now it just feels like I think what they're going to do is they're going to take what they did right with Assassin's Creed Origins. They're going to make it even better for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and the bits they got wrong with Assassin's Creed Origins, like hopefully the long grind to get up to the levels that you need to be so that you can actually take part in some of the main story quests. They shorten that down so you can level up easier, or like the gaps between the levels are better. Then I think this game is just easy money maker for Ubisoft, as long as they don't push it out the end of this year, because we've only just had Origins. They need to just realize that taking a break and not releasing it every single year is what worked for them for Assassin's Creed Origins. So even if it's 18 months, it's a long enough period of time they can bring it out. Just don't shove it out for Christmas.
Yeah, I've played some of them. I mean, I wouldn't say that I've played them a lot, but I have played them. I do like the games. There's really nothing I don't like about them. But I think they do. I think they do make a lot of them. That's the thing.
They've made loads of Assassin's Creed.
And I think he's right. I mean, you need to just they need to pace it. It's like they did with Call of Duty for a long time. It's just like pump them out so fast that some people, the diehards, they're gonna love it, and there's gonna be the people who are just like, okay, why is there so many of these coming out? It's a little bit too much. So I think it's all about pacing it and making the game good instead of just getting one out. So they got to watch that.
I think something we can all agree on is the Xbox once again have a really shoddy show of exclusives. The only one that they've got listed currently is one called Ooblets, which looks pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. If you look at it on the screen right now, it's this is the only exclusive they had listed for their conference going forward. They've got plenty that are on a few different consoles, but what is going on with Xbox and the exclusives, Johnny? Like, seriously, they're not learning the lesson yet, or they've just not got the capital to invest in these sort of studios?
I don't know. The Xboxes are selling better now with the Xbox One X and the slim version. They're doing better, but they just don't have the money that PlayStation do. PlayStation have sold like twice as many PS4s as Xbox has, so they've got the clout behind them to go to a developer and say, look, make it an exclusive. Horizon Zero Dawn was a brilliant game. God of War was a brilliant game, and they're all coming out on PlayStation 4 because there's just that many more consoles in people's homes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure don't all three of us own PS4s?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So do any of you own an Xbox?
Nope.
No, me either. I'll tell you what, I've got an Xbox 360, but I literally just use that for Lego.
Nice.
Anyway,
I'm looking forward to E3 this year. I think it's going to be great. I'm always looking forward to the Sony conference. They always have something mental, like they'll have people dangling from ceiling or water, or they'll have something crazy going on. They might have like a life hanging or something. You never know. So it's always good to see. Nintendo's always hilarious. Xbox is always cringeworthy. They just can't seem to get it right. Johnny, do you think it's going to be a good year for Sony? A good year for Xbox, Ubisoft? Who's going to take it this year?
I might be biased, but I'm going to go with Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Rick, who's going to take it this year?
I'm going to go with Sony.
Cool. All right, well, I think that wraps it up for this episode.
One thing.
Yeah?
We haven't talked about Rick's favourite game, Fortnite.
Oh, we should.
Yeah, Fortnite. We haven't talked about Fortnite. This is my favorite game.
I feel like they could do a lot. Like they could. The biggest section of the gaming market right now plays Fortnite.
Yeah, and that's what I'm so uncertain about it. That's the reason why it's like what they're gonna do, because like I want to talk about it, but I sat there and I was like, should I bring it up? Because I'm like, I have no idea where they go, because they're so, it's like they're so on top of everything right now that, I mean, they added shopping carts recently. It's like there's no telling what they're gonna add next, and like I do feel like one thing I wanted to say we will see from them was we're going to see more crossover events like they did with Thanos. So
that did well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did pretty well, and I got my ass kicked by Thanos so many times playing Fortnite. So I'm, as if I didn't hate Thanos enough, I've just added more reason. He comes into my game, Fortnite, and takes over.
That's what you get for your review, Rick.
Yeah, exactly. I guess Thanos and I are just not going to get along. That's what I'm
You just
starting to
kicked your
think.
ass. Like, you like the film,
Yeah,
damn it.
here's the thing: I love Thanos as a character in the comics, but lately he's been pissing me off with the statues and the Fortnite and the movie. So
hey,
right now I'm not a
Rick,
Thanos
just be
fan.
thankful that he didn't come in and all he could do is snap his fingers and kill you in Fortnite. Then you would have been
That's
really
true.
pissed off.
At least he had to fight. Yeah, at least he had to fight. That was the good thing. He actually had to do something. But he did kick my ass, but he still had to fight. So whoever was controlling him, whatever douchebag was on the other end with that gauntlet on, you suck. I just want to say that right now. don't like you,
I do
so.
suck. Thank you, Rick.
Right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Before we wrap it up, I want 2 games from each of you of what you're most looking forward to seeing.
Death Stranding, Last of Us 2.
Rick?
Spider-Man and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nice. And mine is hopefully Cyberpunk 2077 and obviously Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey.
Assassin's Creed Mario Odyssey. Mario Creed Odyssey.
Assassin Mario's Odyssey.
Mario Creed. The Mario Creed
Mario
Odyssey.
Creed, the unsuccessful Rocky remake. Cool.
Right, okay. So thank you guys for tuning in to episode 30 of the Collectiverse show. Let us know what you think down below, what you think is going to be one of the highlights from E3, if there's anything we missed as well, because there's a lot of games coming out, and we're guaranteed to have missed something that you guys are going to be interested in, so let us know down below.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
Later.
Thank you. Bye.